Hey DIYers, and welcome back to the second session today. And in this session we're going to cover, we're actually going to write and read some stuff from Mongo. And then if time allots, we will do some socket.io stuff. I think it will. We may not finish socket.io today. We may have to let it draw on to tomorrow because I think there's a lot of explaining that has to happen probably for some people. So we will we'll see how far we get with Mongo. We're going to start there. We'll read and write from the databases, and then we'll see how far we can get to socket.io. Maybe we'll just cover the high level of it today and actually do the work tomorrow. We'll see what we'll see whether time allots for more than just talking about it. All right. Let's get into it. Let's go and open up our web dev crash course here. What is this? Okay, this works. Alright, so to get started, let's go ahead and open up LiveMod. We'll open up our server folder, and then we're going to actually end up removing this folder. I can't believe I left this in here. It's probably in the repo now too. So I'll delete it, and then hopefully that'll make it go away from the repo as well. Sorry about that. So we have our controllers, we have our models, we have our server. So let's go ahead and open up our server. Everything looks pretty good there. Looks like we're declaring everything we need to declare. Declaring everything we need to declare. Let's make sure that we have our routes or our controllers set up correctly. Yep, looks like we got the base level set up, everything. So let's go ahead and dive in and let's start processing some stuff. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and start with, we're going to start with the images, I think. And we'll start with posting an image. Because in order to get an image or get images, you need to have everything already in the database to be able to pull that stuff. And the same thing with the decision. So let's go ahead and start there. So we'll go ahead and so we're going to be posting data. So we're going to say var image is equal to new image model. And so what we're doing is we're pulling our model up here. Pulling our model up here, and that will actually become our new variable here. So we can actually access that, all those key pair values through this image variable. So then we're going to go down here and we're going to say image dot, and we'll actually need to pull up. This is where having this split screen helps a lot, because we can actually pull up our model over here. Let's go ahead and open it up, and we'll switch that over to this pane so we can actually see. Man, sorry about that, guys. I don't know if it's allergies or what the deal is, but so we're going to do image dot I already had one. Image title is equal to so this is where, you know what, we'll so I will go ahead and console log it out too so you guys can see what it is. But basically on our request, I'll show you I'll show you the tool we use to submit requests here in a second. Because we don't have a front end yet to actually submit anything with. So that's what we'll focus mostly on tomorrow, is actually connecting everything. So what we'll do is we'll submit a request, and that request will have all this data. It'll have the image title, the image description, the image path, and whether it's been approved or not, which it won't be on upload, so it'll be false that it hasn't been approved yet. If it's yeah, and then an upload date. So what's going to happen is we'll get this big long request, right? I apologize, man. Okay, so we'll get this big huge object request, and in that object request we'll be able to reach out to all the variables we declared on our submission. So let's go ahead and start declaring those. So what we'll do is we'll go into that request object, we'll look for the body of it, and then inside the body we're going to be looking for title. If it turns blue, you probably stumbled onto something that is a well, if it turns blue, you guys may not have any coloring happening, so bear in mind that certain terms like title, image, probably maybe not. Certain words are used as placeholders in a language, so if they turn the same color as some of your other pieces that are not like text, like you see a lot of these are blue, if it changes that color or green, sometimes it cannot be what you're looking for. Not green, sorry, green's okay, but red, blue, in my case, it'll change depending on what your theme is, but so we'll do image title, just to keep it simple. Then we'll do image description is equal to request.body.image description. And we'll do image dot, and every time we're doing this image dot, we're reaching into this image variable, which is now the image model. The image model is this whole object here. So we're just reaching in and saying, okay, we're going to set the image title to what we got from our request body for image title. Now we're going to do image path is equal to request.body.image path. We'll do it one more time. Image dot uploaded date is equal to request.body.upload date. Alright, and you notice I'm skipping over the approved. So what we'll do is we'll do image.approved. We'll go ahead and set it to false. It's equal by default to 0. And that way, I think 0 will work. Yeah, 0 is probably fine. So we'll say that. And you'll notice my tabs blinking a lot, and up here too. It's because pretty much every time I write a line, I've kind of keyed myself into pressing save, Command S. So if you see that flashing around a lot, that's what that is. All right, so we have all of our data. Well, we haven't set any data yet, but that's how we want the data mapped. So this next part is actually pretty straightforward. There's not a whole lot happening, and that's what I think I love about Mongo so much, is it is so simple. It's so simple. So we're going to do image, reaching out to this image again, dot save function, and then we're going to send in an error if we get it. We'll close this off. Looks like I missed something there. Hold on. No, I'm good. Never mind. Thought I may have missed something, but I think it looks okay. So we're going to say if there was an error, I'm going to keep using brackets just for you guys. Response.send the error. So if we got an error when it tried to write, it's going to do that. If we didn't get an error, which we shouldn't typically, then we're going to say response.json, just like we did before. We're going to do message. We'll say image was saved to the database. And then we will also pass a data parameter, and the data parameter will be image. And basically it'll say, hey, this is the image we put in, and this is the data we put in, so you can see what data was put in there. Once the API is actually finished, I don't think we'll do all of that. I think we'll simplify it quite a bit, but that should get the job done. But now, we are going to, before we actually start trying to post an image, we're going to go ahead and write an image so we can test to see if everything's saved like it was supposed to. Thank you. So we'll go ahead and go down to the next one, which is the get image. And we're not going to get all images yet. Maybe we will do all images. Yeah, let's do all images first. So we're going to do very similar. There's a lot less happening, but the actual request is pretty simple. So we don't actually have to pull in any models or anything like that, because this already knows that there is that the model's in here. So what we'll do is we're going to say, wait, hold on. Yeah, no, that's right. So we'll do so we're going to do image model dot find is this the way I want to do this? Hold on, let me think through this for a second. Yeah. Yep, this is what I'm doing. Alright, so we're going to do image.find. And all we're going to find is the image ID. And remember, I told you that you can set a specific ID, or you can let it be set to default, and it will create an ID for you and just add it to your document. So what we're going to do is we're going to reach out. We're looking for the ID based on. Well, I guess we. You know what? We're gonna. That's I got mixed up. I forgot we decided to do the multiple images instead of just one image. So all we're gonna do is image model.find. Basically, it's gonna do is look at the database and find all the image models. So we're gonna do yep. So we're gonna do image model.find. We're gonna get rid of our objects. We're just finding all of it. And then we're going to do function, just like we did before, passing an error. Yeah, that's right. That's right. But we also need to send in the images. And basically, what that's going to be is everything it finds. So images is going to be how we access all of those images. So we're going to do the same thing as before. If error, and we're going to say response.send error. But if there's no error, we're going to say response.json. And it will be just images. So basically what's going to happen is it's going to look at that image model. It's going to look in our database and find everything that has that image, any document that is based on that image model, It's going to bring it back and put it in this array of images, or object of images. It's a JSON object. And then if there's an error, then it'll send us the error. If not, then it's going to send us a response with a list of those images in JSON format, which is exactly what we're looking for. So now we're going to move into actually testing our tool here. So what we're going to use is a tool called Postman. So I'm going to post this link in the chat so you guys have it. But no, I'm good. So we've got Postman here. So, and you get to that by going to, I have to have Google Chrome, and then you'll go to extensions. And you'll do get more extensions. There's probably a faster way to get to that, but I wanted to show you guys how to do it. And then you'll just search Postman. And you'll want this one. I've already got it, so I can't add it, but you'll see that blue button, that Add to Chrome button. You'll click that and it'll add it to your Chrome. Then once it's installed, you'll be able to open it. I have this little Chrome app launcher, but I think you can also open it by going to here? No. Maybe? No. I never know. Probably extensions, and then yeah, I don't really know. Oh, right here. So you go to Window and then down to Postman. Well, no, that's probably a window that's open. Never mind. Maybe it's because it's open already. Extensions. Details, launch app. That's weird. That's like that. So once it launches, we need to start our server first. So let's go ahead and start our server. So I need to get to desktop, top, and then we'll go to web dev crash course. We'll change directories to live mod, and then we'll change directories to server. Alright, so now we're in server. Let's go ahead and start our server. Node server.js. Uh-oh. What did I do? Oh, tripping. So this is an image model, it's images. We'll probably have a similar instance here. No, I did it right there. Okay. Alright. So yeah, if you guys had my code, then you probably had image model, it's just images. So let's try this again. There we go. Alright, so let's bring Postman back up. And I'm going to go ahead and clear all. Kind of start fresh here. Alright, so our request URL is going to be localhost 3000 API. And we're going to be sending it to the post image route. So make sure we got that right. To image, and then we'll send it to, yeah. Close that. So we're going to send this to image. And instead of a get, you're going to do a post. Basically what this is it's a tool to send form data without having to build a form. So this is a good way for us to test our tool and see how it goes. So we've got post, and now it's saying, okay, how are we going to send this? Well, we want to send it as XWW form URL encoded. So we're going to send that. So the key that we're going to send first is let's find our keys. I'll go ahead and bring this down a little bit. Okay. So let's find our keys here. So we're going to send image title is test image 1. Image description is test image description 1. And then we'll do image path is equal to path is probably not the right word. We probably should have said name because we're going to have a default path. Yeah. So let's go with test image.jpg. And then approve. We're going to set to 0. Well, yeah, we're not even pulling that. So we're just setting it to 0 by default. So then the last one is uploaded date. And let's see what this does. Because I think you have to have one of those crazy UTC dates for it to not error out. Let's try though. Let's say July 7, 2015. So now we should be able to send this and get a response. Posted in an image. That's not. Oh, yeah, it is. Whoops. So, in theory, we should have gotten images there, or we should have submitted an image. So let's do another new tab here. And we're going to do a GET request this time, though. It's going to be localhost hose 3000 API images. And it's going to be a GET, so we shouldn't have to send any parameters along with it. So it should just bring us back, hopefully, a JSON object of that image. Uh-oh. Let's make sure I'm calling the right thing here. So server. We popped it. What did we pop here? That was weird. So let's pull up. There's two responses there. We don't want that. Get rid of that first response. Let's build this again. And let's see. I'm gonna watch this a little bit more closely. And the beautiful thing about Postman is, so I had this other one and it saves a history, so I can just click back here and say, alright, I want to send this again. So we didn't get a response there. Body is going to send all those things again. See what happens. There we go. Image was saved to the database with all of that information there. And see, there's that ID we generated dynamically, which is perfect. So let's go ahead now again and see if we can pull down the images. So we're going to go ahead and hit send. Wow, that took a long time. Not really sure why it's taking this long to load. Let's cancel this request real quick. Take a look at our code. It all looks correct. Oh, I wonder if I still need an. I wonder if this is malformed. I think it is. I think it is. So we'll throw that, and that. Yeah, let's try this. It's interesting that the server did not crash on us when that happened. I'm going to go ahead and quit the server since I built a new version, and then we're going to run it again. Uh-oh. What happened? Images 49. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I put that in the wrong spot. Not right. Let's try that now. There we go. Alright, so now we should be able to run this get all images, and it should show that image we just submitted. There it is. So we have two different images. I didn't think about removing images. We should probably write an API route for that. Alright. So now we have a bunch of images. Well, a couple images, not a bunch. But we're able to submit that image, able to pull the images back. So now, how do we handle getting one image? Well, when we talked earlier, I mentioned that we would probably have to do a little bit more to this get image. And what we're going to do, we're going to throw basically a parameter on the end of this route. So we're going to call this image ID. So what that colon does is it lets the route know that this is a parameter, not a route. That doesn't actually need to be used to figure out where it's going. So now that we have this, we can build out our get image path. So let's go ahead and build that out. So we're going to say image model dot find again, but this time we're going to limit it to the ID of the image. And instead of, up here we're using request.body.image title. Instead of reaching to the body, we're actually going to reach into the params of our request. Oops, got the dot. So this is going to be, so it's request.params, and then it's going to be whatever you put here. Not the colon, but everything else. So it would be imaged underscore ID. And that's it for that. And then you would do function error images. And we're going to do just like before. So we're going to do if error response dot send the error. If there's no error, then we're going to do response.json. I said images, but this should be image because it's only one. We're only looking for one. The image. So now, if I were to take this ID, and we will will form a new one. We localhost 3000 API. We're going to say image. Then we need to put our parameter in there, which is going to be our ID for that one image. So now we need to restart our server because we just changed the server. Let's go and close it. Control C. We're going to do node server again. .js to run it. Looks like everything's good. So now we have this URL request here. We're going to hit send, and it should just bring back the one image that has the ID of this. So send it. Oh. Okay, what happened? Unexpected token, so we're malformed again. How did that happen? No, that's right. That's right. That all looks right. What page are we on there? 49 again. Wait. No. Oh, it's because I left a 0 off our port number. So let's hit send again. Oh, now we really broke it. Okay. Now that's a real one. Image model is not defined. Yes, it is. Oh. It's supposed to be a lowercase I. So we'll stop our server. Oh, well, our server's already stopped. No, it's not. So let's try that again. Node server, restart it. Come back here. So we're going to try this one again. Send it, and there it is. There's the one image we have that has that ID. So now, let's work on updating. We'll do that with the decision route. All right. So let's do. Let's get rid of this response because we don't want to double up again like we did before. So we're going to do image model. Sorry, my laptop's dying. We're going to do image model dot update. We're basically going to wherever, and this is going to take another one of those parameters. So wherever ID is equal to request.params.image ID, wherever we find that, we want to set approve. Is it approve or is it approved? Let's look real quick. I can't remember. I think it's approve. No, it's approved. Okay. All right. Where are we? There we go. Approved. We're going to set that to request dot body dot approve. Oh, let's do dot decision. I think that makes more sense. Decision. I cannot spell decision today for some reason. And then we'll do function just like below, and we'll do error. And this time we're going to do a little bit differently because we don't necessarily want it to give us a bunch. It's just going to let us know how many fields were updated. So we're going to do error num and raw. So now we'll do just like before, if error response.send error, and then we're going to do response.json message the num to let us know updated. Oops. So now, if we take a look at our Postman again, let's there's actually no approved field there. Interesting. I wonder if it's because I said it's a 0 and not false. Let's try that. Oh, no wonder. It's because it was approved, not approved. So 0 probably would work just fine, because 0 is the same as false. So now I want to go submit another image so I have all the data I need. I'm going to submit this real quick. We're going to update the body a little bit here. 2 test image 2 July 8th. We're going to go ahead and send that. Cannot post the API. What? Maybe we can't post the API image. Doesn't make any sense. So this is strange because we were able to submit something before. Let's knock down our server, put it back up with our changes, and see if that does anything. So let's try to send it one more time. What's the error we're getting here? 44 not found. What? Jexter asked if not if else, so I'm assuming he's referring to this area. And the reason you don't need an if else there is because you have response.json here and response.send. So if it errors out, it's going to stop there anyway. So it's going to send that response there and it won't go down to the next one. So there's no need for an else. So it's either going to hit that error. If it has an error, then it's going to do that. Otherwise, continue on. So let's figure out why all of a sudden this is 404 on me here. What in the world happened? Oh, that's what it is. So the problem is, now that we have this extra parameter on here, you need to have that trailing slash. So I think if we do this, I'm trying to. I wonder if we need to split up this route now, since we're not posting with a. Let's try that. Router that route. Image. I'll move this post down here. That might be it. Yeah, let's try that. So we're gonna take down our server again. Now we're rolling. Now we should be able to. There it is. Okay. So that was the issue. Yeah, it doesn't like my date either, which is fine. We can knock that out. So what was happening was this extra parameter was actually breaking our post. So it was actually looking for a parameter and it wasn't getting it. So it was basically doing nothing. So we split that out to its own thing, which makes sense. I forgot about. I don't know why I didn't notice that, but so now we have a route for just image. Now we have a route to get just an image that has a parameter on it. So now we just submitted another test 1. So let's go ahead and update this. So I'm going to test 2, test 2, test 2. Let's see if I take the comma out, if that'll keep this from breaking. Send that. Yep, good. Let's do that, that. So that's the 8. We'll send that. Perfect. Alright. So now that we have a few, let's see if we can pull all the images real quick. Send that. Yep. Alright, now we got a handful of images in there, which is good. So what we need to do is when we put our decision, now we need to add another parameter, which is going to be image ID, which we declared that in our image controller here. Right here. So we went for our request parameters of image ID. So now it should find any image that has this ID. Should find that and update to the request to whatever we call our decision. So this is a post. Let me make sure that that's how I have this set up. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah. So we're going to write a new post here. So let's give ourselves another tab here. So this is going to be localhost 3000. I did it again. 300 API. So this is going to be decision. I gotta spell it right. And then we gotta, let's pull number 2 here since it's unique. Do that. And throw that there. So now this isn't a get, this is a post. So now for the body, we're gonna send a decision. Decision is equal to 1. So let's go ahead and send it and see what we get back. Cannot post to API decision. Why? Oh, you know what? I probably didn't update after I did that. So now, restart. Always got to restart your server. Some of the more advanced tutorials I'll do, I'll actually show you guys how you can do live reload, where it reloads every time you save. But don't have time to cover it today. So let's go ahead and submit this now. There it is. So that was updated. So now if we go back to our Git and send it, this should be true now, and it is not. Why is it still false? I spelled it wrong. Well, that's pretty right. Let's try something true. Oh, it's because we have to send it as form you are uncoded. Dope. So decision 1. We're going to call it. So now, there it is. Proved is equal to true. So now what we need to do Guess we can start saving our event details. So we got our image, get images, posted our image, posted our decision. I think that's the bulk of it. So we're running on about an hour. Why don't we take a 5-minute break, and we will get back to it here about 5 after 2 here. We will write our admin and then start talking about Socket.io. Back in 5, guys. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and post them now, and I will do my best to answer them when I get back. All right, guys. I think we are back in business. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and jump back in here. So we're going to write our admin function, which will be extremely similar to everything else we're doing. How would everybody feel about writing the admin portion as homework, as part of your homework? See if you guys can wrap your heads around kind of how I did it. Think about that for a minute, and I'm going to look at what else we have left. I think the admin section doesn't have a ton of crazy stuff. I think we might write this one just so we can use some Node. But I feel like we might be able to get away with letting you guys try and code that out. But tell me how comfortable you feel with that. Yeah, I think as long as everybody's comfortable with that and nobody's like, no, I don't want to do that. I understand that. Jexter, I think that's... So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'll let you guys code out the event and the post event. So what that's going to do is that's going to allow you to just to kind of try and write that yourself. I think that'll be a good real world example, and then I will post the actual answer tomorrow morning before the course, and then you guys can kind of have that, or maybe I'll post it tonight. I'll post it tonight so you guys have it if you want to work on it this evening. But just something that you guys can kind of look through, and I'll post what I have now, and then I'll post how I would have done it this evening. Not now, but when the class is over. But I think we can. Let's. I think we should do a little bit of socket.io. Just a little. Nothing too crazy. But it's going to require a little bit of something or other here. Yep. Alright, so let's... So let's talk briefly about what Socket.io is. So Socket.io is basically real-time connections to a web page. So let's say, for instance, you wanted a chat. That's something pretty straightforward. A chat would basically consist of a live connection. It used to be done with a bunch of different types of technology, but what Socket.io does is it opens up, it basically utilizes WebSockets, where Socket comes from, and it allows you to update a web page without reloading the page, which is similar to like an Ajax, but it's a constantly open connection. So anytime anything changes, it automatically updates the other one without writing any code. If you're part of a group or part of a connection and you do a broadcast message, it's going to go to all of those without writing any single code, just by writing broadcast to Node or to Socket connection, and it'll broadcast to every user. And it will automatically, when a user hits the page, it will automatically notify the server of a connection, and it's all real time. I'm not reloading my admin page, they're not reloading their page to get updated information. So when they're looking at our images per se, so if they're on the live feed, they're actually going to see images starting to flow in as it's coming through. So as people are uploading and as they're getting approved, they're going to start seeing images stacking up. New image, new image, new image. So Socket.io will allow for us as an admin to have a constant stream of people uploading images or videos and saying, okay, it's here, it's here, it's here, without having to okay, I'll reload to see if there's more. I'll reload to see if there's, it takes that aspect out of it. It is very much real time, and you can have a real sense of exactly who is on what web page at all times. And that is, we can put in a connection on the upload page. We can put a connection on the admin page. We can put a connection on the live page. So you can see at every step of the way who is connected to your website. What are they doing there? Are they uploading something? Are they looking at pictures because they enjoy seeing all the pictures of people? What are they doing? And that gives you a very real-time understanding of what exactly is happening. And that is a great little tool. So I think the first thing we need to do, let's go ahead and bring up our terminal. I'm going to go ahead and quit my server for a minute here. And we're going to do npm and nom install socket io -- save. It's going to go ahead and do its thing there. So it just installed everything. So we should be able to now. So we have our socket.io installed. So let's go ahead and declare that on our server. Let's go ahead and pull that sucker in. We're going to do var io is equal to require socket. Oops. Socket.io. Alright. So the other thing we need to add is, so we have to use the server portion of well, I guess actually we don't. How do I want to do this. Yeah, I think that works. Let's go ahead and do that. So we'll need to come up here a little bit. So we actually need to move this socket connection. So that's going to go underneath app. So then we're going to set server. Var server is equal to require HTTP. Oops. Is this right? Create server. I cannot type. Create server with that. Okay. So then this is going to utilize the server. Alright. So now we're going to do app.get. So we're going to set something up for our home page. Request response next. And then we're going to do response.send file directory name plus index.html. So we're going to go ahead and throw an index file here. Index.html. Okay. This can be a very basic index.html. The only so we're gonna do doc type HTML. Close off that HTML. And we're gonna do head, body. We're going to do h1 hello world, div id future, So I'm thinking, I'm kind of getting a little bit lost here. Oh, it's been a long day. Sorry. Okay, let's look at, I think we're on the right track here overall. So let's keep doing what we're doing here. We're going to do title socket.io demo. Save this. We're going to get rid of this. We don't need that. That should be enough for now. So what we're going to do, we're not going to do a whole lot here. So we're going to throw, so we need to pull down socket.io real quick. So let's grab socket.io. Pull that sucker down. Download. Okay, this works. This also works. So let's do this, and we'll throw that in the bottom of our body here. We're also going to need jQuery, I believe. We might not need jQuery. But let's, right below this, let's go ahead and do script. And close that off. Script. Close that off. And we're going to say var socket is equal to IO. So what this is going to do is this, when we hit this web page, it will create a connection. So let's go ahead, look at our server here. So if we go here, we don't even need to do this. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm just going to do index.html because we created one in our server here. So what we need to do is we need to do io.onConnection function socket. We're actually going to pass the socket itself into our function and close that off. And we're going to console log. Console log is your friend. A user has connected, right? And then we're going to do console.log. No, we're not. Sorry. We're going to do. So now everything should be listening on port 3000, I believe. You know, for this demo, we may need to switch. We may need to switch from app to server for the purpose of this demo, I believe. That should do everything we need. So now, let's go ahead and run this. Oh, that is not what I want to do. Hold on. Let's go ahead and run this. Uh-oh. Find module. What? Where did that even come from? Alright. Maybe I need to leave this at that. Try that again. I think I had to switch that though. Maybe I need to install base64 ID. I didn't think I needed to, but npm install base64 ID. Save. It's weird. So why isn't that? That's kind of weird. Let's try and install it again. Let's do npm install socket. Maybe I jacked something up when I stopped it. I don't think I did though. See, there were some errors. Let's try it now. Looks like that worked. I guess it was because I cut it off in process. Alright. So now, if we watch this, I'm gonna put this up here. I'm gonna move this over here. We're gonna go to localhost 3000. Oh. I think I need to change the server. Let's try that. Okay. Same issue. Okay. Maybe I do need the dir name. I didn't think you did, but maybe you do. Let's try that. Okay, so now you see that a user has connected. So we're also going to, let's set a variable up here. We're going to say total users is equal to 0. So we're going to say every time it connects, we're going to say total users is equal to total users plus 1. Which you could also do total users plus plus, and that would get you the same result. I'm going to leave that one as it is. So let's go ahead. We're going to do that. So we're going to say equals total users. So I'm going to move this above that console log. Put that there. I'm going to save that. So now what we need to do is we need to check when somebody disconnects. So we're going to say io.on disconnect function no socket necessary here because we're not really doing anything with it. And we're going to say console.log user disconnected. And then we're going to also do total users minus. And that way, as we're adding and decrementing, it will connected users is equal to total users. Alright, so now let's go ahead and restart our server. Control C. Start our server. Uh-oh. Doesn't like it. Oh, I forgot my plus sign. My bad. Okay. Node server. Good to go here. The user is connected because I'm connected right here. So I'm going to open up another one. Localhost 3000. We have 2 connected users. local host 3000. I have 3 connected users. If I close one. Why isn't this working? I restarted my server, didn't I? Oh, you know why it is? You know why it is? It's because it has to be connected to a socket. And that socket is up here. That is why. Sorry about that. So if we put the socket inside our connection here, it can listen for when that user is gone. So let's go ahead and close these. I'm going to go ahead and Control C that to hopefully restart the server. Start the node server. One user connected. Local host 3000. Another user connected. Local host. Oh. Connected. So now if we close one, the problem is I put it after, which I should not have done. Let's try that one again. So we'll close our server here. So we've got, so the problem was that console log was coming out before I was deducting a user from our total user count. So let's go ahead and restart it here. Connecting all our users. Now we're down to 2 connected users. Now we're down to 1. Now we're down to 0. So you see how accurate this can be. Just by somebody connecting to your page, you can actually tell exactly how many people are actively looking at your website. So for this is fantastic because you can see how many people are actually looking at your live feed. You can tell how many people are getting ready to upload files or are on the upload page. You can get a really accurate representation of how many people are looking and interacting with your website. And that is, that's a very high level demo of Socket.io. But I think that's really what makes Socket.io great, and is just that there's so many things you can do with it. There's so many interactive things you can do with it, and we'll actually build into our routes. When people upload files, it will automatically it will utilize that live functionality to push images where it needs to go to the admin panel, and then once it's approved to the live feed, and that's all happening all live. There's no reload, there's no wait time, there's no having to refresh your page. Like there is just so much fluidity to that it really makes it a cool technology and something that I really like working with and want to work more with. I think I'm a little bit torn because we have about 15 to 20 minutes left, and writing out all the socket.io stuff, which honestly I thought is where we'd end up, is we won't be able to write it in 20 minutes. And that's why I'd like to continue it to tomorrow. Plus, I also think writing the socket.io without writing the front end is almost impossible. You can do it, but I think for me it's a disconnect. When I tried learning like that, I tried working with the technology and not working with the front end of it first, and doing it together makes it much more digestible. I think that's the way it is. So I'm going to kind of open it up to questions now for anybody that wants to ask questions. And if everybody's good, then I will probably go ahead and wrap it so I can get your guys' homework out. And then, we can meet up tomorrow. And we're going to move through a ton of stuff tomorrow. We're going to knock out all the socket.io connections. We're going to do all the live feed type stuff. And then we'll actually start testing the front end with the API and the sockets. So tomorrow's gonna be a really crazy day, fun, lots of cool stuff happening. So yeah, and hopefully I'll be more well rested so I can actually speak better. So I'll hang around here for a few minutes and see if you guys have any questions before I actually shut down the feed. Otherwise, I've been enjoying this week. Thank you guys for understanding with the rescheduling. It has seems like even the videos, not as much live participation as I was hoping for, but videos are getting a few hundred views that night or the following morning. So there is a lot of interest in this stuff, and that makes me happy. So hopefully the next crash courses, which I'll announce tomorrow, will help you guys people that are really learning to dive down into the bigger concepts of some of the things we talk about, like HTML and CSS and JavaScript. Some of those deep dives will help increase your level of understanding and help make you a little more proficient in it. So got that to look forward to. Hate wrapping up this early, but I think we're going to end up in a weird spot, and I think it might be a bit of a disconnect for tomorrow. So I want to, So I want to make sure it's all together when we're doing it. Otherwise, it seems like everybody's pretty good. So hopefully, over the weekend we can have some of the guys that missed for work today and gals back, and we can make it happen. So yeah, if nobody has any questions, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this sucker and see you guys tomorrow. I will be online for a while, so feel free to reach out with any questions or comments or anything like that, and I'll do my best to get around to it. Take care, DIYers.